In a marriage without relationship, sex is merely an exchange of services that's void of truly being seen and known. And my guess is that this exchange of services and lack of connection just doesn't feel good to your feminine heart anymore. There's a destructive view of marriage and sex. The message is that a man cleaves in order to get married, and then he doesn't have to work at the relationship anymore after the wedding day. That cleaving is somehow concluded by the act of matrimony. So he says yes once on the wedding day, and that one time entitles him to free access to sex. The masculine translation interprets due benevolence as a euphemism for only sex. If that's the whole truth, that puts an unnatural and even sinful expectation on a wife to say yes to sex, regardless of how she feels, for the rest of her marriage. In order to carry that off, it means that she's got to deny the God-given hormonal signals from her own body that creates the desire for sex. Femininity requires something from masculinity in order to desire him. This benevolence must precede sex. That's why Paul addresses husbands first when it comes to due benevolence. A woman has zero desire for a man to enter into her unless her estrogen levels almost quadruple in his presence. Unless that happens, sex becomes just another chore for her to complete on her to-do list. It's not a choice. A woman can't just get in the mood. A man can. It's not a choice for us. It's the way God designed the female body to work. You know what? If you've decided that you don't like feeling like a prostitute anymore, simply stop doing it. Stop faking. It doesn't matter how long you've been living inside that pattern, deceiving your own body. There's never a wrong time to start living in authentic truth. But you know, there are things you have to do without feeling like you want to do it when you're married, right? Do you need to feel like cooking supper? No, that's a function. Do you need to feel like going to work? No, that's a function. Do you need to feel like cleaning the house? No, that's a function. Do you need to feel like waking up in the middle of the night to feed a baby or change a diaper or sit up with a sick child? No, these are functions that end with dependent children. Functions are tasks that you agree to carry out. Relationship is not an obligation to be fulfilled like a task. It's a journey to be experienced. Sex is not a duty or a function performed from within the role of a wife like a domestic job. Sex is the culmination in the one flesh relationship. It's the highest level of friendship you arrive at when a romantic relationship is cultivated. So please stop believing the rhetoric that says you're withholding sex if you don't do it regardless of how you feel. That is a masculine interpretation. It's not how a woman experiences sexuality. Instead, you're going to start living in truth by authentically honoring how you feel. In this way, you will truly be a helper to the man. You won't be enabling laziness anymore. God says, if a man doesn't work, neither shall he eat. Do you think that's just for laziness with career or a job or work? Is that God's modus operandi? He only ever has one application for his precepts? Or is it just maybe that when a man works for something, for anything, it causes deeper appreciation and responsibility and ownership for whatever that thing is? Maybe even loving his wife like his own body? Is it possible that complete responsibility is in keeping with the design and purpose of masculinity? Knowledge is key for you. Learn the difference between doing the role of a wife and being in relationship with the man. and learn about your biology and hormones. Research and understand yourself. What makes your estrogen-laden body so different from a man that's full of testosterone? And learn to feel your feelings. Study them. They are you. Get reacquainted with who you are by what you feel, where they come from, and why you feel them the way that you do. When the feeling emerged, who were you listening to? Or what were you watching? What was a particular sound or smell? The olfactory sense factors in largely in regard to triggers and memories. Learn what evokes those feelings and emotions inside of you, and allow yourself to learn them by letting them surface. Articulate them with words that maybe you've never uttered, and maybe verbalizing them to someone if you can, someone who's safe. And even if you don't have anyone safe right now, journal them. It's almost as good. Get used to hearing your feelings articulated in your own voice. Your voice is beautiful. The Lord handpicked that one for you. Practice saying them in front of the mirror so you can watch your mouth form the words that convey your deepest feelings. It's these practices of giving your inner girl back her voice. They'll allow you to feel what emotions fit for you. Using feelings and words will put you in touch with using more and more of them. Trust me, you'll know when you find you in those words. You know when you shop for a particular blouse or top, no one can tell you what you're looking for, am I right? You try on 10 or even 15. You find it by trying the others on. Stepping out of the relationship is about slow, gradual feminine change and growth. It's about becoming your best self. It's not an ultimatum deal for the man. This is about your healing, your relationship with God, not changing the man. What you're doing is coming in line with who the man already is and living that way, authentically, honestly, and in truth. And what this does is reveal who he is. You're done trying to control him by putting those reins in his hands. Even if you know it's his responsibility, you accept that he doesn't want them. You stop nagging, coaching, encouraging, and fighting about it. You're done. Accepting his behavior, it doesn't mean that you're going to receive it. They are two different things. If you feel bad or hurt by anything he says or does, or doesn't do or say, you're now going to be living in the acknowledgement that he is a grown man and he can choose to be who he wants to be, and you will accept him as a person. And that means you accept that he has the right to choose his behavior. You have the same free choice to not receive into yourself words or actions that don't make you feel good, or words or actions that don't encourage you to be your best godly self. This is what your relational absence communicates to him. It's a boundary.